In Bauer, good position.
Clark pulls, deep one, left wing. Caitlin Clark is her.
Natasha Howard able to lay it in. To Boston, her jumper is good.
I think we have a group that's much like the Pacers. We've got a lot of great balance.
Still on the bounce. 3 seconds to go in the half. Caitlin, left wing, off balance, 3. Got it! Caitlin connects ahead of the halftime buzzer. She is 1 of 1.
I didn't think these things would be a topic this year. It's certainly not at this point. But here we go again.
Because now Indiana Fever players, all right, are getting called into question. Indiana Fever fans are getting called into question today. We got one post on here where somebody's literally calling, they're talking about there should be a boycott. That's what it really is of the All-Star game over player safety.
The following is a statement from the WNBA regarding yesterday's game in Indianapolis. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Now, I agree with strongly condemning racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms, and I agree they have no place in our league or in society.
Look, Angel Reese supporters are losing cabin pressure as we speak. It is ugly. I mean, ugly. Some of the most vile, hateful things I've ever seen are being said on Twitter X right now. This should have nothing to do with skin color, but they're making it about that. You better believe it. The sports players, just like any other sport, they're open to criticism.
I really hope this isn't in response to some of the stuff that's been floating around on social media in the last day or so. Allegations made in text form with no backing or any video or even any evidence that the person who's making them was in attendance. And the thing about sounds, which has been debunked by other video evidence. I really sincerely hope that the league did not respond to that.
Number one, let me put it out there. I don't believe for a second that Indiana Fever fans were yelling racial slurs where there were television mics down by the court. I don't believe it. They would have gotten thrown out of the arena. So don't let that narrative, it would be everywhere. Somebody would have it on camera. It would get leaked. It would be online right now. They're going after the Chicago front office about clear racism and uneasiness the players feel playing in that arena. I'm off the W. I can't support a league like this. It's nuts. This is crazy. This basic ugly bee is so hateful. That's why her and her family keep funding bot accounts with Dave Portnoy. What? To slander Reese and then paying off ugly ass poor black C words to defend her and sell out their own. I mean, the crash out is epic. Angel Reese acted like a total and complete idiot, and it got called out for it. Over a take foul. Stop it. We all know what's behind this. Aaliyah Boston, 13 rebounds, 19 points. Aaliyah Boston had 5, including 3 in a row. One of them was on Angel Reese. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses 2-point shot. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses layup. I mean, we're right back to where we were last season. I told you guys not a lot was going to change. On the nuclear fallout, that's exactly what it's been, over the take foul, as Caitlin Clark is calling it, and that's a great way to say it. It was a take foul. She was trying to prevent a wide open layup, although one could argue that she might have missed it anyway, on Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese went absolutely, utterly berserk.
At the screen, Clark, 1-3, buries it.
She starts 2025 with a triple-double.
I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Hate. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. So why do I think Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark? It could be the fact that Aaliyah Boston had to save Angel Reese from ending her career. This is a still shot. After the foul that Caitlin Clark put on Angel Reese tried to hit her. But if it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston putting her arms in the way, Angel Reese would not be playing basketball anymore because she was going to sucker punch Caitlin Clark.
Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any wilder, another firestorm erupts, pulling the curtain back on uncomfortable truths simmering beneath the surface of professional sports. This time, it centers on an investigation launched by one of the biggest leagues out there, triggered by accusations so serious they demand immediate attention. But as is often the case, headlines only tell part of the story. Beneath the surface lies a different reality, one involving a dominant performance, suspicious timing, and a confrontation that was far more personal than anyone initially realized. Get ready, because we're diving deep into the shocking details behind the latest uproar. And what we found will expose the truth many don't want you to see. The storm broke right after a highly anticipated game, with claims surfacing that shook the league. Following a tough loss, allegations were made by a prominent player and amplified by supporters, suggesting that fans in the arena had hurled abhorrent verbal attacks and hateful comments. The noise grew so loud, so fast that the league felt compelled to act, announcing a full investigation under their No Room for Hate initiative. On the surface, this swift response seems appropriate, a league standing against intolerance. But even as the official statements were released, a chilling question began to emerge from the silence surrounding the claims. Because here's the part nobody can explain. Despite these grave accusations prompting a full league investigation, not a single video, audio recording, or independent witness has surfaced to back them up. Think about the setting. A packed arena, thousands of fans, nearly every single one holding a high-definition camera in their pocket, recording every exciting moment. Add to that, the broadcast cameras capturing multiple angles and sensitive courtside. Microphones picking up every roar of the crowd and player interaction. Yet, amidst all this recording equipment, zero evidence has emerged supporting the claims of hateful fan behavior. This isn't how things usually work when fans actually cross the line. Remember moments where fans misbehaved at games? Video appears, almost instantly spread across social media within minutes, identifying culprits and confirming incidents. The complete lack of concrete evidence here, days after the game, feels not just unusual, but deeply suspicious. It leaves you wondering, where is the proof? And the timing of these allegations only deepens the mystery. These claims didn't just appear out of the blue. They surfaced immediately after a game where one team didn't just win, they delivered an absolute dismantling. The Chicago Sky suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of the Indiana Fever. While one player shined bright, delivering a masterclass performance, another struggled noticeably, appearing frustrated and ineffective on the court. Given the lopsided outcome and the stark contrast in individual performances, it's hard not to ask, were these claims of fan abuse a convenient distraction? A way to shift the conversation away from a poor showing and a blowout loss? The whispers begin to grow. Perhaps the real story wasn't in the stands at all, but unfolding directly on the hardwood, stepping onto the court, the actual basketball, told a completely different story than the drama unfolding off it. The Indiana Fever didn't just defeat the Chicago Sky. They put on an absolute clinic showcasing a level of team cohesion and individual brilliance that left spectators stunned. The final score revealed a massive disparity, highlighting just how dominant the Fever were from tip-off to the final. Buzzer, at the center of this offensive explosion, was the player everyone is watching, who delivered a historic performance, a triple-double that demonstrated her complete command of the game, effortlessly finding teammates and knocking down shots. But it wasn't just one player, the entire team clicked. Their defensive strategy was particularly effective, especially against the player making the off-court claims. They shut down her usual scoring opportunities, kept her off the boards, and made every touch of the ball a struggle. One teammate in particular, a defensive anchor inside, was instrumental in frustrating her every move, blocking shots and altering countless others, leaving their opponent visibly exasperated. Adding fuel to the fire, a specific moment on the court between the two key players ignited a separate controversy that seemed to reveal the true tension bubbling beneath the surface. It happened late in the game when one player attempted what looked like a tactical foul designed to prevent an easy score. While fouls are a common part of the game, the reaction that followed was anything but ordinary. The player on the receiving end immediately erupted with intense fury, jumping up and aggressively confronting her opponent. This led to the referees upgrading the call to a flagrant foul, a decision many questioned given the nature of the fair contact. But the drama didn't end there. As the confrontation escalated, a teammate quickly stepped in, not to join the fray, but to protect her teammate and defuse the situation, only to unfairly receive a technical foul for trying to restore calm. This single interaction felt less like basketball and more like something deeply personal boiling over. Watching that heated moment and the aftermath, it became clear this wasn't just about a foul. The sheer intensity of the reaction, the charging, motion, and the visible frustration painted a vivid picture. One former professional athlete even pointed out what many were thinking. There's no way to deny the strong dislike evident in that reaction, suggesting the animosity was directed specifically because of who committed the foul. It wasn't just a hard play, it felt like bottled up tension finally exploding. This wasn't an isolated incident either. A quick look back reveals a pattern. Last year, the same player was seen openly celebrating on the sidelines after a different opponent committed a hard, arguably dirty foul specifically on the same player she confronted recently. Celebrating another player getting hit with a hard foul paints a disturbing picture and suggests a history of antagonism that goes beyond healthy competition. Connecting the dots between the on-court struggles and the off-court claims reveals what appears to be a predictable playbook. Whenever this player faces her rival, especially when things aren't going well on the court, drama seems to follow. The narrative shifts from the game itself to allegations of unfair treatment or victimhood. It's a strategy that some argue is designed to deflect attention from poor performance and control the conversation. The media often fuels this narrative, hyping a rivalry that, based on recent head-to-head matchups and team performance, simply doesn't exist competitively on the court right now. One player is clearly on a different trajectory, while the other seems stuck, repeatedly resorting to off-court tactics when faced with on-court challenges. But while the headlines focus on unproven controversies and manufactured drama, the real compelling story is happening elsewhere. The Indiana Fever are quietly, and sometimes not so quietly, building something special. Under shrewd coaching and strategic front office moves, they are assembling a team designed for sustained success. They've surrounded their young star with veteran talent and developing players who perfectly complement her strengths, creating a cohesive unit that is rapidly becoming a championship contender. Look at the key players, the defensive anchor inside making life miserable for opponents in the paint, the explosive scorer who can take over games, and the relentless hustle player doing all the little things needed to win. This is the untold story, the hard work, the team building, the genuine growth happening away from the social media noise. In the end, this entire episode highlights a stark contrast. On one side, there are serious allegations of abhorrent behavior lacking any concrete evidence, seemingly timed to coincide with a devastating on-court loss. On the other side, there's the undeniable reality of a team coming together, a superstar elevating her play and teammates, and a potential dynasty beginning to form. While some may prefer to chase shadows and promote conflict based on unverified claims, savvy fans know where the real excitement lies: in the incredible basketball being played, the strategic team building, and the genuine rise of talent. The question is, will the league and the media finally shift their focus to the compelling story that's actually happening on the court? Or will they continue to be distracted by dramas that conveniently surface after major defeats? What do you think is the real story here?